Hey, what's going on, my peeps? Hey, welcome back to another lesson. This is actually a special requested lesson from a niece. Love you, babe. So for my 8th grade math, this is a Algebra 1 geometry concept. However, you're going to have to learn it anyways. But yeah, here we go. Let's get into it. So the objective for this lesson is students will be able to write an equation in the slope-intercept form using the point-slope formula. All right, so what a question will look like, it'll look something like this. Write a linear equation using the point-slope formula for the following points. So I'm first going to give you the steps, and then I'm going to work an example, and depending on time, I may let you work one, and I'll come back and give you the solution. But let's pause the video and let's write down these steps, all right? You should pause the video. I hope you pause the video, because I'm now about to go. Here we go. All right. So step one is to find a slope, and if you don't know how to find a slope, this is the slope formula, and yes, is a fraction. I just didn't include my fraction bar. Step two is to select points from the given points. Step three is to plug the points into the point slope formula. And if you don't know what the point slope formula is, here it is. It's y1 y minus y1 equals m parentheses x minus x1. All right, so let's get into it. Now, I always say determine your x1, y1, x2, y2, and for me, this is how I want to do it. I'm going to call this my x1 here. This will be my y1, and this is my x2, and this is my y2. Now, that looks like I did that magically, right? But I'm really using another computer on the same app. But yeah, here we go. So now I'm going to plug that into the slope formula, and that would be my y2 is 18 or negative 18 minus a negative. Now this is a negative 9, so I'm gonna put negative, and I'm gonna put I'm messing up. I'm gonna put that in parentheses over 6 minus 4. Okay, and because I want to be symmetrical, I'll line it up like that. And if you want to include a line, because some people need that line there, boom. All right, so now if you're using a Desmos calculator, I can show you how to use that, and I'm also going to show you how to work it manually really quick. So ignore all of this. You will start off with the fraction bar, and that is negative 18 minus 9, minus parentheses, negative 9, close parentheses, and that's over 6 minus 4. And it tells me that the answer is 4.5, or in fraction form 9 over 2. Now let's go back to class kick, and we're gonna physically work this out. So remember that this minus a negative, that becomes a plus, right? So I'm gonna erase my scraggly writing here, and I'm gonna actually get back in this fraction. That becomes a plus, and now you have negative 18 plus 9, and that actually equals a negative 9, and we know that 6 minus 4 is 2, and that's how you come up with the fraction 9 over 2. Now this is my slope, m. We've successfully completed step 1. I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to write down a 1 because this is step 1. All right, now step 2. All right, so step 2. Select a set of points. Now I already got x1 and y1 labeled over here, and so I'll just erase this. You can use the 618 if you so desire, but I'm gonna go ahead and use this one. The smaller the numbers, the easier the math. Okay, so step 3. We're gonna plug it into the point slope formula. Now what does that look like? This is what it looks like. Actually, let me show step 2. Me selecting this point. The point that I'm gonna select is gonna be 4, negative 9. And then step 3, let's plug it into the point slope formula. Just like this right here. All right, so get my text box, put my text box there, boom. So step 3, plugging into the point slope formula. We have y minus, my y1 is a negative 9, so I do need to include my parentheses. Y minus, that's a negative 9. Close those parentheses up. That wasn't me close parentheses. That's equivalent to m, which is my slope, which is negative 9 over 2 parentheses x minus my x1 is 4. Okay, and I'm gonna stretch this out so that's all nice and neat on one line. All right, so I'm gonna copy this and I'm gonna bring it down so we can work with it. Control copy, and we're gonna paste it. I don't know why I pasted it way up there. All right, we're not gonna work with this. All right, so now the first step in this, and this is where a lot of people have trouble, is solving for y, meaning it needs to be in y equals, which is slope-intercept form. The first thing that you need to do is you need to distribute this into the parentheses, meaning it's going to be not whatever your slope is, whatever the slope is, you're going to multiply it by x, and then you're going to multiply it by your x1, which happens to be, that's my arrow. It looks scraggly, but don't judge me. Uh-oh, hold on. So you're going to multiply 9. You're going to multiply your slope by the x, and then multiply your slope by whatever your x1 is. Okay? All right. So that's my first step, and I'm going to do that now. So I'm looking at 9 over 2 times x. 9 over 2 times x. And I'm going to write this in so it may look a little scraggly. All right? I went back just a little bit to edit this. So we're looking at this 9 over 2 times x times, and then we're distributing this 9 over 2 into the parentheses. So we have the 9 over 2, and I'm writing this in now, negative 9 over 2 times x is not negative 9 over 2x. And now we have to multiply 9 over 2 times the negative 4. And I'm going to do that over here. So you have negative, well, I'll do it right here. Negative 9 over 2 times, and I'll use a dot for the times, negative 4 is the same as saying over negative 4 over 1. Let's finish that out. Okay? So this is what this looks like, and I'm doing this fraction because a lot of these problems have fractions. So negative 9 times a negative 4 is a positive 36. Ooh, that's an ugly 3 over 2. And 36 divided by 2 is a positive 18. So when you distribute this 9 over 2x or negative 9 over 2x into the parentheses, the product is negative 9 over 2x plus 18. Okay? And I actually have these steps down here. And step 1 is to distribute m, which is your slope, in the parentheses. Now, these are steps to solving this point slope formula. These are the steps to solving this point slope formula. And the first thing I did is I distributed the m into the parentheses. All right, so when I rewrite that, that looks like y minus parentheses negative 9 close parentheses equals negative 9 over 2x plus 18. All right. So now we're at step 2, and I'm going to erase this now. Step 2 is going to be to move, or let's call this isolate y. Yeah. We're going to call this isolate y. And I like the shorthand. ISO y. We're going to isolate the y. Now, in this particular problem, you got, once again, this minus a negative right here. So we got to deal with that. So if we're dealing with that, and I'm going to write this in, I'll write this in. You basically end up with y, that is going to become a plus 9 equals negative 9 halves x plus 18. Now, that's just me distributing this negative sign into that parentheses. That becomes a positive 9. Now, to isolate the y, I got to get y by itself. And this is where we're basically going to subtract 9 from both sides of the equation. Now, if that would have been a negative 9, I wouldn't have subtracted 9. I would have added 9. So you're basically going to do the reciprocal of whatever this sign is. You're going to do the inverse, not reciprocal. You're going to do the inverse of whatever this sign is. Now, where is this going to go? It's going to go where the other constant is. It's not going to go, you don't do 9 here. And the reason why is because this is not a non-x. You have to combine like terms. So you wouldn't put it there. That's wrong. Don't do that. Okay? So I'm just, but you will do it here with the 18 because both of these are constants, and that's an ugly 9. Don't judge Mr. George. Okay? So this gives me a 0 pair here, and I'm left with y equals, and then you have negative 9 over 2x. 18 minus 9 is basically plus 9. And there is your solution. Okay? All right, so the video is getting a little lengthy. So I'm not going to give you that other. Actually, I'll give you another example for you to work, and I'll give you the solution. I won't walk through the steps, but I'll give you the solution. All right? All right. So let's see. All right, I want you to work. Let's work this number 3. Let's work the number 3. I want you to pause the video and work out number 3. All right, I hope you pause the video. All right, the solution to that should be, the solution to this one should be y equals, your slope should have been 4.5. Y equals 4.5x or 9 over 2x plus 1. You know what? I'm going to try to work this really, really quick. I'm going to try to work this really quick. I'm assuming that you all know how to work the slope formula. So I'm going to bypass the slope formula. All right, so I kind of play with it a little bit to save on time. And I've gone through some of the steps. All right, so if you look down here, you have your point here. Now, here, what I didn't indicate, this is my x1, y1. And then this is my x2 and my y2. I put it into the slope formula, which you can see indicated right here, my slope formula, which will be the 19 minus 10 over the 4 minus 2. And that gives me a slope of 19 minus 10 is 9, and 4 minus 2 is 2. Therefore, my slope is 9/2. Okay? Step 2, which is to select a point. I selected the 210. Step 3, I plugged it into the point slope formula. So I'm now getting ready to work this next piece right here, which is first I'm going to distribute. First, I'm going to show you me distributing this. So that will be 9. That basically will be 9 over 2 times x, which will be 9 over 2x, and then 9 over 2 times a negative 2 over 1. Well, these 2's cancel out, but well, let me just go ahead and multiply it out. 9 times negative 2 is a negative 18 over 2 times 1 is 2. 18 minus 2, or negative 18 minus 2, is a negative 9. Therefore, this becomes, I'm going to have to write this really quick. My solution becomes 9 over 2x minus 9. And then when I bring down the y minus 10, okay? So the final step is going to be, and I'm going to delete this so I can write freely. The final step is going to be to add 10 to both sides and I'm left with y equals 9/2 x plus, and it should be a 10, 1 as my solution. All right, I hope that helped you out. This is getting lengthy, so I'm going to end it here. Catch you next time. Peace.